Welcome to DawnsBodyShop.com. Today we'll be doing a few extra little bonus exercises you can either do if you don't have a lot of time to work out or if you wanted to add something at the end of your workout. Make sure that you warm up beforehand if you are just getting started. You want to stop if you feel pain, so you want these exercises to feel challenging but manageable. So if you feel like this is something beyond your fitness level, we've got the beginner workout or a few other exercise videos available that you can do and work your way up to doing these exercises. So if you haven't warmed up and you're just getting started, you'd want to start with a few little cat cows. Even if it is the end of your workout, sometimes it's nice just to kind of do a few cat cows. So the cat, you round, so think like Halloween cat. You look into your belly button and arch your back. And then the cow, you look up and kind of lift your tail up. So like the cow has the belly that drops to the floor. So you suck your abdominals up, round, look into your middle, and then lift and open. So you want to inhale, pull your sternum forward, and exhale, deepen, kind of wrap your glutes. So you curl your tail under, scoop, lift those abdominals. We'll try one more lift. Inhale. Exhale, scoop and round. And from here, if you wanted to sit back and just kind of do a little stretch for your back, you can. So going into some extra glute work, we're going to start laying on your sides to start. So if you lay on your side with your hip and shoulder in a straight line, you can use the back of your mat to line up. We're going to start with your knees forwards and your feet tucked backwards. So you want to pull your abdominal muscles in. You're lifting that bottom rib off of the mat. So you're trying to just lift, like if you put a little thumbtack right underneath that last rib on the mat. So it's just keeping your side bodies long, just as straight and as strong as if you were standing. So you're not like lifting up or collapsing down into the mat. You're just a straight line, straight through with your spine. So if you wanted to add on, you can take a hand weight and place it just above your knee. Just do as many as you can. We're going to try for 15. You get a slight forward lean for this one so that your hips stay stacked. So really deepen into those abdominals, stabilize your hips, and push your knee up and lower down with control. So 15 here, press up and lower down. So these are great for the tops of your glutes. So it'll give you a little extra lift, and it also helps work the muscles that stabilize your knee. We do a decent amount of these, so if you're just getting started, you might need to work up to being able to do all of the exercises for all of the repetitions. Make sure you're pulling your belly button in towards your spine. And then 5 more should be 15. So you should start to feel that hip kind of working. You shouldn't feel it in your joint. You should feel it more in the muscles on like the top of your hip or the top of your glute. So go ahead, lower your leg down. If you need to take a quick rest, you can. We're going to slide your feet forward. So you have 90 degrees at your hips and 90 degrees at your knees. Keep that slight forward lean, lift your abdominals, lengthen your spine, and then you're going to take that top leg, press up and lower down. And moving with control, so these are slow and controlled, resisting gravity on the down. So lift and control your leg as you lower. So still working that same area, you just have a little bit of a different angle on your hips, so you'll hit the muscle a little bit differently. Make sure you keep those abdominals drawn in. And this should be 10 here, so let's see if we can get those last 5. And 2. And 1. Very good. So we'll place your weight off to the side, and you should feel kind of your hip into your thigh just burning a little bit. We're going to take your feet towards the back edge of the mat. Again, make sure that you're keeping the sides of your body long, so you're keeping your spine straight by pulling your abdominals in. Top arm can be in front for a little extra balance. You've got that slight forwards lean, so your belly button would be pointing down just a little bit more than pointing up. This way your hips are going to stay nice and stacked. So keep your stabilization, top leg lifts up. So you're going to touch your knees together, your toe points up towards the ceiling. You touch your toes together, your knee goes up to the ceiling. So it's knee to knee and toe to toe. Knee to knee, toe to toe. Really take a second to pause through each motion, really trying to open up that hip. So you're stabilizing your pelvis and you're moving your thigh. So your thigh bone is rotating in that hip socket. I'll go for 5 more. If you wanted to place your hand on your hip to make sure it stays nice and still, you could do that. Very good. Lower your leg down and take a breath. So I like to add on a little bit to this one. So I have a band and it has a little hoop at the end. You want to be careful this does not slide off of your foot. So if you don't have a band or you don't want to use a band, you can start without. I kind of feel like it gives you a different type of resistance, so it supports a little bit better with the bands. We're going to take your hand and pin the band down towards the mat, being careful not to lose it. And then all you're going to do is just press your leg straight out and then draw your leg in. So that band should pass underneath your knee. So you get a nice smooth press and draw in. So that band gives you more of a resistance from the bottom of your foot rather than gravity pulling your leg down. So that's what I mean when the band supports your leg a little bit. So it helps keep it lifted in the air, but then it gives you resistance, lengthening away from the top of your head. And let's see if we can get 5 and 4. And again, go towards your own fitness level. So if you need to do less, that's fine. I wouldn't do much more than 15, maybe 20. You could do sets if you'd like. Give yourself a quick rest. So from here, you can even do a stretch. So if you grab that band and just pull your leg forward. So just as far forwards as you can get it. So you might be able to get your toe all the way up towards your nose. You might just have your legs stacked out, trying to keep your hips reaching away from your foot. Take the breath, and then from here, keeping those abdominals engaged, you just bring your leg behind you. So be careful not to pull your foot towards your backside. You want space between your heel and your backside, so you're not over bending your knee. If you're arching your back, that stretch really isn't going to work, so you want to keep your pelvis curled forwards. You could extend your bottom leg straight out to give yourself a little bit more stabilization as well. So you have my thighs nice and parallel to the floor. You don't want that knee up to the ceiling. You'll lose your stretch. All right, so we're going to do that all over again on the other side. All right, so remember, hip and shoulder in line with the back edge of the mat. You're lifting your waist, so you're keeping your side body long, or you're lining up your spine. So your heels in line with your sit bones, that slight forward lean. If you choose to use your weight just above your knee, and we'll shoot for the 15. So give it your best shot. So you push up and lower down. And you might feel one side differently than the other. We tend to be tighter on one side, so you might not get quite as much range of motion. If you've had an injury, you might be weaker on one side. And let's try for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your leg down, slide your knees and feet forwards, and this time we're going to do that whole leg. So your shin stays close to parallel with the floor. Press up and lower down. Remember, keeping your waist lifted. Those hips are super still, so you're trying to move just your thigh bone and your pelvis stays stabilized. Be careful not to grip with your upper body. I'm trying for those 15. If you need to stop and rest, that's fine. Remember, you can rest more between each exercise as well. All right, so let's place that weight off to the side, and we'll slide your feet back towards the back edge of the mat. You can do hand on your hip to make sure your hip is still, or top arm in front like a kickstand for a little bit more stabilization. So that top leg lifts up, and you're going to touch knee to knee and toe to toe. Knee to knee, toe to toe. So it's just that thigh bone pivoting in the hip socket. Remember, your pelvis is nice and still. And pausing to kind of work that rotation so you get a nice stretch. Remember, it's normal to feel those muscles burn a little bit, but you shouldn't feel pain in your joint. If you feel like you need to stop and take a rest, that's fine. If you wanted to add more on, I wouldn't do more than 20, but you could also add more sets as well. All right, so now for that bonus exercise, so we're going to take your band and you're going to place it around your top foot. Remember, it's nice and secure. Top arm pins to the ground, and you're just going to take your leg and press straight out and resist draw in. So really try to lengthen out and resist in. Lengthen, resist. Lengthen, resist. Let's see if we can get 5 more. Don't forget about those abdominals. Very good. So if you wanted to add on your bonus stretch, you can grab that band, pull your leg forward. So remember, you could bring your toes all the way up towards your nose. It can be up a little bit, whatever works for you. You just want to try to keep those hips pushing away from your heels. So you're still keeping that straight line that we had started with in the very beginning from the top of your head to your tail. Nice stretch for your hamstring. And then we're going to take your leg and just bring it back. So you're pushing your pelvis forward, keeping your side body long. You've got that space between your heel and your backside, thigh parallel to the floor. Make sure you take a nice deep breath in and out. Very good. So place your band off to the side, and we're going to come up to a kneeling position. So your wrists and shoulders are in a straight line, your knees and hips are in a straight line, and your back is flat like a table. So you want to go to the leg that you did first. So you give the other leg a little bit of rest. So I did my right leg first. I'm going to put the band onto my right foot. So if you take the band, it can come between your legs. So you've got the band on your foot on the inner part, and then you hold the band. So if you take your thumb and your pointer finger, kind of like a lobster claw, I think, and like pinch the band. This way you can pin the bands to the ground with the heel of your hand. So going to that tabletop position with your back, right? Suck your belly button up towards your spine, so you're not just letting your stomach hang out. You want to really lift your abdominals. Be careful you're not collapsing into your shoulders. You're constantly pushing away from the mat and keeping your neck long, so you don't want to start to scrunch. Keep those shoulders plugged in. All right, so we're going to take that right leg, or whichever leg you started with, and bring it straight out behind you. And then you're going to tap your toe down towards the mat and lift up just parallel to the floor. So tap and lift. So the height of the lift is controlled by your hips. So you don't want to lift your legs so high that your hips are starting to move. Thinking of that length of the band. And you can try for those 15 again. Remember, if you need to do a little bit less or a little bit more. And then, so go ahead and bend so your knees match up. And then you're going to keep the angle of your knee, hips are still, and you're going to just push your heel up towards the ceiling, your thigh parallel to the floor, and then back in, knee to knee. So press up and in, knee to knee. You're trying to work from your glute here. So these exercises are nice to add in, say after a leg workout. You can add it in really to any workout, but it's nice if you fatigue your legs and then you can kind of work deep into those smaller muscles. And they're also good to do just as a quick workout if you don't really have time to work out. You're not really going to get super sweaty, so you can kind of just do a few quick exercises. All right, and that should have been 15, so I didn't count that great on that set. But let's go ahead and we're going to go into our third variation. So you're going to take your leg and press your leg straight out behind you, and then bend in, knee to knee. So you press your leg straight out behind you, and in, knee to knee. So it's lengthen and resist. Lengthen and resist. Remember, take breaks as you need them. You're working your whole body here. So I feel like my arms are working to hold me up. I'm working my abdominals, stabilize. And let's try for 3 and 2 and 1. Very good. Bring that leg in. Take a quick second here. So I like to add one more on. If you feel like your arms are tired, you need a quick rest, that's fine. Just take a second and bring your leg straight out behind you. So what you do is you bring your foot to the floor. So the band kind of crosses over your other foot. And then you just bring your leg out to, oh, that kicked the wall. So cross and out to the side. Being careful not to kick walls. Let's do 10 of these, so we'll go for 5 more. So your hips are still, kind of like a little windshield wiper. Last 2. And 1, very good. So let's take a quick rest. I like to keep the resistance on the bands, keeping the spot that you had before. So if you wanted to just give yourself a quick second, take the breath. And then we're going to switch hands, trying to keep a similar spot on the band so that you have a similar resistance that you had on that first leg. So I'll move to my left side, and you'll do the second side. So again, finding that table position, wrists and shoulders, knees and hips, back flat like a table, suck your belly button in, watch you're not collapsing into your shoulders, lengthen your neck. If you need more of a rest, take it, do as many reps as you can, up to 15. So you're gonna bring that leg straight out, and you tap down and lift up parallel to the floor. So remember not to lift so high that your hips start to move. So you could envision a glass of water resting on the tops of your hips or on your sacrum, and that wouldn't spill. And let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then bend your leg in so your knees match up, and you're going to keep that 90-degree angle and just push your heel up to the ceiling and then back in, knee to knee. So press up to the ceiling and knee to knee. And keeping your abdominals engaged. And we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So going on to pressing your leg straight out behind you and then drawing your leg in. So you press and resist. Press and resist, thinking of lengthening your heel away from the top of your head. Remember, if you need to take a second, give that upper body a rest. Make sure that you're able to maintain that stability with your core. And let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, take a quick second. So adding on that last bonus exercise here. So you're going to bring your leg straight out and you're going to cross over and out to the side. Cross over and out to the side. So we'll just do like 10 of these. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. So we'll play short band off to the side and take a good stretch back here. So you just sit back towards your heels. Nice deep breath in and out. And then for a stretch, you could come up to a seated position, bringing your leg straight out onto the mat, bend one leg in towards you, cross your foot over your thigh, and then just give that leg a hug, twisting in towards your leg. If this doesn't work, you can try a figure 4 on your back. And then switching sides, you bring that right leg out, left leg in, cross your left leg over your right, wrap around, sit tall as you twist. So you always want to spiral up. All right, well, thank you for joining me. You can view this video as well as others at dawnsbodyshop.com. If you'd like to follow me on YouTube or Facebook, I will post when I put new videos up.